Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Ivana Devitasari. You can call me Ivana or Nana. I am the student of English Study Department in Duta Bangsa University, Surakarta. In this video, I will present about 40 question and answer about morphosyntax in linguistics. Hope you guys enjoy my video. Let's start it. 1. What is linguistics? Linguistics is the scientific study of language and its structure, including the study of morphology, syntax, phonetic, and semantic. 2. What any branch of linguistics? Specific branches of linguistics include sociolinguistics, dialectology, psycholinguistics, compositional linguistics, historical comparative linguistics, and applied linguistics. 3. Where did linguistics come from? Linguistics as a Western discipline therefore has its roots in ancient India, in the study and preservation of scarce texts. The grammarian Panini wrote a description of Sanskrit in about 1500 BC, which is still unexcellent. 4. What is field in linguistics? This is a branch of linguistics which introduces students to the methodology of elicitation, transcription, organization, and analysis of linguistic data of a language. 5. What is the purpose of linguistics? Linguistics is the scientific study of language. Linguistics experts in linguistics work on specific language, but their primary goal is to understand the nature of language in general, by asking questions such as human language from other animal communication system. 6. What is another word for linguistics? Synonyms, antonyms, idiomatic expression, and related words for linguistics like lingual, grammatical, eusegistic, oral, semantic, dialectical, phonological, morphological, and phonetic. 7. What are linguistic theories? From Wikipedia, basic linguistic theory is a term coined by R. M. W. Dixon to describe the theoretical framework and basic concept that is generally used in grammatical description of language and in linguistic typology. 8. How do we explain linguistics? Linguistics is the scientific study of language. It involves the analysis of language form, language meaning, and language in context. Linguistics traditionally analyze human language by observing an interplay between sound and meaning. 9. What is interesting linguistics? Linguistics is concerned with the nature of language and communication. It also studies how people acquire a first language and the language after that, which is basically what I do for a living. 10. What are the main branches for linguistics? Between them, phonetic or phonology, syntax and semantics, pragmatics constitute the principal level of linguistics. Whatever branch of the subject we look at, we shall inevitably find ourselves talking about them. 11. What is simple word in linguistics? Simple words don't have internal structure, only consist of one morpheme. Example, word, work, build, run. They can be split into smaller parts which carry meaning or function, while complex words have internal structure, consist of two or more morpheme. Example, worker, affix er added to the root word to form a noun. 12. Is a linguistic dictionary useful? A dictionary in linguistics is useful for teaching abroad, publishing roles in government administration. Linguistic graduates also go into jobs where they can use their knowledge of linguistics directly, such as working for dictionary compilers or as proofreaders and editors, or publishing in a company. 13. What is literary linguistics? Literary linguistics is a discipline that empowers the reader. It gives us the tools to explain why literary texts affect us so powerfully, why we love some texts more than others, and why we feel transport when we read literature. 14. What is the main concern of linguistics? The discipline of linguistics focuses on theories of language structure, variation, and use, the description and documentation of temporary language, and the implication of theories of language for an understanding of the mind and brain, human culture, social behavior, and language learning and teaching. 15. What are linguistic skills? Linguistic skills measure the capacity of individuals to understand and express themselves, both in written and oral form. Nearly all of the population understands to speak and read Galician. 16. What are linguistic research? Linguistic research means that research for the purpose of assisting linguists in their fieldwork, study and research. This research includes textbooks, electronic and printed reference material, corpora, dictionary, ontology, fonts, and more, and software for linguistic data management and analysis. 17. What are major components of linguistics? Linguistics have identified five basic components that are phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics, and they are found across language. 18. What are the objectives of linguistic study? The linguistic major is designed to enable students to 1. Have a fundamental understanding of the basic nature, branch and history of linguistic inquiry. 2. Understand and use methods of logical analysis in analyzing the data from a wide variety of language and dialect. 19. How do we use linguistics in our daily life? Linguistics in everyday life is how do you speak differently when you are talking to your friends, to your parents, or to your boss. And what you read an essay and a text message at the same way. And why do people who speak the same language as you still sound different from you? And where do words come from? And then how do words change over time? 20. How many languages do linguists speak? There are plenty of linguists out there who speak between 2 4 5 languages fluently. True. So I would say on average linguists speak 2 to 3 languages fluently. 21. Who is a linguistic person? A linguist is someone who studies language. Linguists study every aspect of language, including vocabulary, grammar, the sound of language, and how words evolve over time. The study of language is called linguistics, and people who study language are called linguists. 22. What is morphology? In linguistics, morphology is the study of words, how they are formed, and their relationship to other words in the same language. 23. What is morpheme? In morphology, morpheme is a minimal meaning bearing unit in a language. 24. What is coinage? Explain it with a few examples. Coinage is a process of creating new words in a language. It is usually used for the name of newly invented product, for example, Vaseline, Wikipedia, and more. 25. What is the difference between coinage and eponym? Eponym also refers to the invention of newly coined words, but they take after the name of a person or a place. 26. What is compounding? Compounding is a process that combines two existing words to create a new word. 27. What is conversion? Conversion is a process that changes the part of speech of a word. For example, the word text is traditionally a noun, but we can also use it as a verb, as in I will text you tomorrow. 28. What is clipping? Clipping is a process to create a new word by talking only a part of existing word. 29. What is blending of words? Blending is a process to create a new word by putting part of the two words together. 30. What is back formation? Back formation is a process to create a new word by reducing an existing word. Unlike clipping, this process usually takes place when we create a verb from a coined word. 31. What is acronym? Acronym is a process to create a new word by taking the initial letter from a word sequence. 32. What is the difference between free morpheme and bound morpheme? Free morpheme can be used as a single word by itself, while bound morpheme cannot be used by itself and it must always be attached to the stem. 33. What is the difference between prefix and suffix? Prefix is a bound morpheme that attaches to the beginning of the stem, while suffix is a bound morpheme that attaches to the end of the stem. 35. What is the difference between lexical class or open class and functional class or closed class? Lexical class is a class of productive morpheme. You can create a new word based off the morpheme, and it includes noun, verb, adverb, adjective, and some prepositions. while functional class is a class of non-productive morphem that include a conjunction. 35. What is the difference between inflection and derivation? Inflectional morphem only indicates a different aspect of the word. Example, different number, gender, past or present tense, and etc. While derivational morphem often change the part of speech of a word and incurs a significant change in the meaning of the word. 36. Explain the meaning of syntax. Okay, syntax is a branch of linguistics because there are also other branches, namely phonology, morphology, and semantics. As a branch of linguistics, syntax examines the intricacies of the discourse, sentence, clauses, and phrases. 37. Do you know about the language hierarchy? Explain and mention them from the highest level to the lowest level. Okay? Language hierarchy is the level of language elements. The levels from the highest to the lowest are discourse, sentence, clauses, phrases, words, morphem, and phonemes. Phonemes are studied by phonology. Morphemes and words are studied by morphology. The word as the largest unit in morphology is also the smallest unit in the study of syntax. So, in the field of syntax, discourse is an element of language that is at the highest level and words are the lowest level. 38. According to the syntactic definition, explain what is the object of the study. Syntax is in charge of studying discourse, sentences, clauses, and phrases. 39. Explain the meaning of clause. Okay. Clause is a grammatical unit consisting of P or predicate, whether accompanied by S or subject, O or object, PEL or complementary, and KET or description or not. So, all clauses have at least a P element, while the other elements, namely subject, object, PEL, and KET, are arbitrary or optional, may be present or absent. And the last number is 40. Explain the meaning of the phrase. Phrases are units of language consisting of two or more words that do not exceed functional boundaries. So, all the elements forming the phrase must be in only subject or only object, only PEL or only KET. Okay, I think that's all is all. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.